EGM Network.
Treasure Coast Connector. Connecting residents and businesses of the Treasure Coast. And here's your host, Ellen Contreras.
Welcome to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras. This episode is partially sponsored by Libby Weissman and her team at seniortransitionnavigator.com and luxuryhomesofthetreasurecoast.com. So Libby works with seniors and their families, helping with all sorts of decisions into vibrant senior living, having to do with downsizing, decluttering, packing, moving, estate sales, relocation, and more. You can have a free consultation with Libby by calling 772-783-2800. Visit www.seniortransitionnavigator.com or luxuryhomesofthetreasurecoast.com. So now I'm excited to welcome back Pat Heydlauff to the show. She is a modern day Renaissance woman, and Pat helps people move from fear and chaos into calm, purpose, and divine connection. And her life's work is dedicated to guiding others back to the heart center where peace, prosperity, and joy can begin. After a life-altering accident and a high-stress corporate career, Pat began a deep spiritual journey. What she discovered wasn't just healing. It was a message meant to be shared. Today, she writes books, leads workshops, guidance sessions, and retreats that blend ancient wisdom with practical tools to help others reconnect with the divine and transform their lives. She's here to discuss her most recent book, Awakening Together Now. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Ellen. It's great to be back. I love you. I love your show, and I certainly love all of your followers.
Yes, yes. And a lot of people love to hear about all that you have going on because you don't sit still. I don't even think you sit still long enough to paint. I don't even know how you get that done.
Sitting still is a priority only if I have a pencil in my hand or a pen or a paintbrush.
Well, very good. Okay, so now before we start talking about the book, okay, I'd like you to share a little bit about your journey as an author and a coach, an artist, and what inspired you to write this book, Awakening Together Now?
Well, my journey began once I was in this really high-stress corporate world, and I kept coming home saying to my daughter, this job is really killing me. And in reality, I was getting sick. Finally ended that, but I didn't get the message yet and didn't slow down. Went on to find a wonderful speaker in the arena of feng shui and fell in love. And through that, I found balance, I found silence, I found peace of mind. But I still hadn't gotten the message, you need to change your life. And I injured my right eye and was almost blinded.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for the right doctors, the right place, the right time. That began a really in-depth journey. Once you silence your mind and find balance, you can move into arenas and hear the voice within and reconnect with your creator, which then led me on this really deep journey. And each step has led me to write a new book, sort of about that life journey, but it's about everybody's life journey. And the emphasis for the one right now was actually somebody that spoke to me 25 years ago, saw me actually doing, but I didn't realize it at the time. She saw me painting on a stage shapes, but couldn't tell what I was talking about other than energy. And all of a sudden, my spirit guide told me, your next class for your gathering at your home is going to be about sacred shapes. And that was when the book was born, but it's also predicated on the fact that it's about all the upheaval in the world today, especially our own country, and nothing to center yourself on, nothing to hold on to know that things will get better.
Yeah.
Hope, fear, and chaos have become the norm. And it's all because of this major changeover on planet Earth. We've moved out of one age, a 2,000-year cycle of Pisces, into a new age of Aquarius, which means everything from the past is crumbling, being broken down.
We can feel it and see it. All we have to do is watch the news.
And see it. You watch the news. It's happening in Washington. It's happening around the world. It's happening on the streets in our cities, which is very sad. So that is the basis of why this book was given birth.
Right. And it's perfect timing, obviously.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about more about that and how you're helping people through the book. But you write about the creator turning chaos into light. Yes. So how can we follow that same model in our lives today? Because this show is going to give hope to people. It's going to then say to themselves, I need to reach out and get a copy of that book. I'm just saying. But yeah, how can people use this same thing about chaos and turning it into light?
The wonderful thing about our creator is he did this all in a single thought. But once he thought it, he had to bring it into control and into order. That's where the sacred shapes come in. During the Renaissance, 1500s, the builders knew about sacred shapes from a mathematical point of view, and all these wonderful cathedrals and everything were built. But they never realized there was a second intent for them. It's how the creator created the universe, the stars, the solar system, but it's also how the creator created us and put these pieces all together to create this wonderful thing called humanity. It gave both the universe and the human a floor plan, a blueprint, or a framework for how do you do this in your own life. Because all of these sacred shapes, not all geometric shapes, but certain ones, are filled with the energy for us to create, recreate, and learn and grow so that we no longer have to just survive and live with the chaos we have now, but we can thrive and create a much better future.
And yeah, shapes and colors, of course, make us feel a certain way.
Absolutely.
You know, and just as a quick aside, the emerald cut of a diamond, that rectangle, I like rectangular shapes, my husband Omar, for an upcoming anniversary. I'm just saying, we'll plant that shape in his head.
There we go.
Like that little segue. Yeah, I couldn't make a pun out of it, Cindy. I'm sorry. She loves my puns. But all kidding aside, now I'd like to talk about cycles, because we have a personal level of cycles, right?
Right.
And then did I skip a question? No, I didn't. Oh, I did skip a question. I get so excited when you're in the room. Sorry, Pat. I went right to question 3, because all of these are very, very important, because you're showing how people can get that help when they're feeling just ill at ease, and your book will help straighten them out. So the sacred shapes as a spiritual compass. So now people that don't understand this, right? You're calling this an ancient language, but why?
It's an ancient language because, number one, the creator used it. I had somebody ask me the other day, well, aren't these shapes from Egypt or from the Jewish culture? But they forget they came from God, from our creator, and they got adapted by various cultures. They are an energetic blueprint. Each sacred shape carries a vibration and a frequency and can lift you up, or if you don't use it, you struggle to move forward. They help realign your body into order instead of chaos. They are a new language, a little like hieroglyphics.
Sure.
Was a language. I mean, they're all shapes, but they're a new language for this new age of Aquarius. It's a spiritual language that helps people communicate with each other by just looking at the shape. You mentioned the emerald cut a minute ago, which basically is a square-ish shape. That's a shape for manifestation, for growth, for moving forward. Your anniversary is a milestone. It's moving forward, and it's a manifestation. So it's a new language of spirituality, reminding us that we're all connected. We are no longer totally alone and sequestered in our own world. We work together, we live together, we eat together, and we should be awakening and remembering who we are together. The little thing I'd like to say about this language is that I'm creating emojis that are going to be available on my website.
Oh, okay.
So you and I could communicate using these various sacred shapes. And you may want to send me one that says unconditional love, or you may want to send me one that says, I'm working really hard today and growing, which would be the spiral. I have a question for you. I mean, that's how you would start to use them. So they're the framework for improving your life. They're like a new spiritual tool that is coming back to light and is being introduced, perhaps for the first time, for all I know. And it's a way of communicating within this realm.
And I appreciate that, because even before we started the show, we were talking about social media. We were talking about our screens and how a lot of us are no longer really connecting in person, talking with one another.
Right.
And we can kind of see that by the crumbling of what's happening all around us.
Right.
So then this book is a way to get people to be face to face and communicating with one another.
It helps bring your feelings out, because when you're no longer communicating face to face, you have no connection through the words, what kind of feelings and emotions are behind them. And there's this hollowness, there's this emptiness. We're always in contact, but we're never connected, because connection really is a heart center way of living.
I like that very much. And with that said, we have to take a break, but stay tuned, because Pat Heydlauff and I have a lot more to discuss about her book, Awakening Together Now. We'll be right back.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats, and chairs in the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Four Seasons, Braxton, Color, and Capri. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need, including a gallery of American-made Telescope, Berlin Gardens, Lloyd Flanders, and Pollywood, all with no tariff ever. And we also specialize in fire pits, outdoor rugs, umbrellas, and replacement cushions. Right now, we're having a huge floor sample sale with lots of great markdowns on everything you need for your Florida home, including all pictures, lamps, and accessories, half price. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Don't forget to visit our outlet store directly across the street, filled with lots of name brand closeouts and sale items. And visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Blue Dolphin Pools strives to provide quality service with a well-trained staff in the field and in the office. They want you to know that your pool or spa investment means much more to them than just another account. They believe you have entrusted them with your investment, and they'll do their best to see that it stays in top condition. Blue Dolphin Pool has been in business over 35 years, setting them apart from the competition. Residential or commercial, Blue Dolphin will keep you in the swim. 567-5853.
You'll scream with delight at Little Shop of Horrors, the outlandishly funny sci-fi musical opening the new season at the beautiful Riverside Theater in Vero Beach. Seymour, a timid flower shop clerk, discovers a mysterious plant with an appetite for fame, fortune, and human blood. With a rockin' pop score, this cult classic will have you laughing, gasping, and singing along. Little Shop of Horrors starts October 16th, but you can get your best tickets now at the box office or riversidetheater.com.
Welcome back to Treasure Coast Connector. I'm your host, Ellen Contreras, and I'm with Pat Heydlauff, and we are talking about her latest book, Awakening Together Now. So I want to dive back into the conversation, because I want to circle back to the question that I started asking you, right? And it's about cycles. So we all understand cycles, personal, but then there's universal, and then even bigger is cosmic, right?
Right.
So
right.
this two-part question that I have for you is, why is it important for us to understand the cycles, okay, during this time of transformation? And then how can someone incorporate this into everyday routines, even if they're feeling distracted or distressed?
The important thing to note about cycles is that's normal. It's the way the universe, the world, the cosmos was created. You have the cycle of the tides, the cycle of the moons, the cycle of the orbits of all of the planets and the remainder of the universe. And as people, humans have cycles. Mm-hmm. You're born, you grow up, you learn, eventually you pass on. Within those cycles are many others. You get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you get some food, you go to work, you come home. So cycles are part of life. So you reduce a lot of stress in your life if you accept the fact that there's cycles. Here in Florida, we know there's a hurricane cycle. Mm-hmm. And you can fret and stew from June till November worrying about them. But if you just accept it as, all right, we'll prepare and do our best. So stop resisting the cycles.
So that's a great way to put it. Stop resisting.
Right. And they're just normal activity. And in my book, The Sacred Shapes, there's 15, but there are cycles within those sacred shapes. You will cycle through some of those sacred shapes your whole life. Primarily, maybe the square if you're manifesting, maybe the spiral if you're on a growth pattern. Mm-hmm. But the last one in the first row is oneness, and that's your connection or your reconnection with God, the Creator. So you cycle through those, and then you move down lower, and you finally find balance in the middle. Oh, so there is a milestone, because now you've silenced your heart and your mind, so you can go down to the last three or the last five, where you find the unconditional love and the for infinity.
Yeah, I like that so much. Okay, so now the title of your book, Awakening Together Now. It's not just about a personal awakening, it's awakening together. So what does this mean to you? Why is together? Why is that word essential? And then what about people and communities and families, living in a more heart-centered life? What can they do?
So heart-centered life is the important part of that statement. Awakening Together Now has an urgency to it, because we're into this new millennium 25 years now. And the chaos has gotten worse, which reflects the fact that it is peaking and having to change, and it's the resisting of the change. But the change that's coming is going to be a much more spiritual world, much more reflective of honoring each other, of connecting, of being one instead of being just the individual. Mm-hmm. So the timing for it is an urgency, and together builds that community factor. We can't wake up just me. I can wake up and I can build a little community. I can connect with my family, or I have this wonderful group that comes to my house once a month. But we need millions of people doing that at the same time if we're going to change the new world. And I have it on good information from the Creator, that the Creator sees heaven on earth coming. Mm-hmm. And that's built on the respect for each other, honoring each other, treating the earth and the environment properly, caring and not being just an individual, caring for yourself first and then looking out for others.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Now, if a reader could walk away with just one energetic or spiritual shift after reading your book, Awakening Together Now, what would you hope that would be?
I have several little ones. to remember that you are a divine being. You are a spiritual being living a human life, not the reverse.
Yeah.
To remember that you're not alone. A lot of people are awakening spiritually now. There are tools to help you, such as my new book, Awakening Together Now.
Mhm.
And that together we can create a new world, a new heaven on earth for our children and our grandchildren.
Yeah. Wonderful. Now, for people that, and I forgot to ask this in the first half, is, of course, people can go to Amazon to buy your book,
Right.
but I also want to have people go to your website because it has all the information about events, about your other books, your art, everything. So how do people find you? What is your web address?
Okay, they find me at PatHeydlauff.com. And there you can actually buy a hand-signed book. It costs just a little bit more than at Amazon. But you will find my other books that are part of my journey. They're my mind, body, and soul books. And they can sign up for my wonderful newsletter, which is just all newsy information.
Yeah.
Passion, Purpose, and Possibilities.
Very good.
PatHeydlauff.com.
And I want people to know that it's PATHEYLA. No?
D.
Oh, I missed the D.
D.
Okay, I'm going to read it off the thing. I can't believe I did that. PatHeydlauff.com. PATHEYDLAUFF.com. Sorry about that. Guess what I did not do well in as a child? Spelling bees.
Yes, I understand.
Because I can write it out, but to hear it and to say it verbally, I would miss a letter or two.
I noticed.
Yeah, 6th grade magazine, forgot the Z. Very embarrassing.
I can understand.
And I'm 57 and I still remember that, Pat. I'll get over it one of these days.
I hope you do.
My goodness. Okay, so what I want to say very quickly before we turn back to you is I want people to know Libby Weissman, seniors, vibrant senior living. There's decisions that you need to make sometime about where you live, how you live. She's a senior herself, so she's been through this. So you can go to seniortransitionnavigator.com, luxuryhomesofthetreasurecoast.com. Call her at 772-783-2800. And she's amazing. I love Libby. Have you met Libby Weissman?
I have met. She is great.
Oh my gosh, everybody
Wonderful
knows
person.
and loves her here.
Yes.
And because she's a senior herself.
Right, it helps.
She's figured out a whole bunch of things. And so now she's just imparting her wisdom onto others.
Right.
And with that, you have a lot of wisdom that has come from your spirit guides, and Conversations with Thoth is another book. Do we have 1 minute? We have 2 minutes. So I'll give you 1 minute, 30 seconds, and then I'll wrap up. So what would you like to say?
I suppose what I'd like to say is that we all have spirit guides, number one. And my spirit guide happens to be the ancient god of wisdom, who is in charge of the wisdom and knowledge library, as well as the operation of Earth according to God's original blueprint. And he has become sort of a daily companion. We talk, and I write down his thoughts, and that's how some of this wisdom and knowledge comes to me. So if you want a fun read about what the future looks like, Conversations with Thoth is a great book. If you want a book that puts you in kind of on the ground floor and where do you begin, Looking Within is a place to begin.
Yep.
And then just a brief note on the emojis.
The emojis.
The heart emoji is the most used emoji in the world. The unconditional love emoji is a heart with a little flame in the center, which is the flame in your heart's center when you reconnect with the Creator.
I like that very much. And when you come out with the emojis, you're going to let everybody know as well.
They are out and available on my website.
Oh, very good. Yes, PatHeydlauff.com. PATHEYDLAUFF.com. I've got it now, Pat. I've only known you for how many years now? My goodness.
A number.
And so I love all of the information that's available on your website. Thank you so much for being on this show. And everybody that is listening and watching, I highly recommend that you visit her site, get her books. It's so good for personal enrichment and growth. My name is Ellen Contreras, host of Treasure Coast Connector. Until next week, I miss you already.